Welcome, future administrators, to this crucial explainer by Rungta IAS Academy. A very warm welcome from my side as well. Aspirants, today we are unpacking a highly significant editorial on India's pharmaceutical regulations. This falls right into your General Studies Paper 2 syllabus, specifically governance and issues relating to health and statutory frameworks. So let's dive right in. We've got a clear, crisp roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the global syrup tragedy. Second, we'll analyze the Schedule K amendment as a defensive policy. Third, we'll expose the core governance deficit at play. And finally, distill our GS2 takeaways and some interview prep.
Starting off with Section 1, the global syrup tragedy.
300. That is the devastating number of children who have lost their lives globally since 2022. And this was due to ethylene glycol and diethylene glycol, that's EG and DEG, contamination in cough syrups manufactured right here in India.
It's an incredibly sobering reality, isn't it? And if we look at this from an international relations and trade perspective, this tragedy triggered severe warnings from the WHO in 2022 and 2023. It's a situation that has severely threatened India's hard-earned reputation as the reliable pharmacy of the world.
Which brings us to Section 2, Schedule K, which is essentially a defensive policy.
Now, aspirants, you definitely want to note this down for both your prelims and mains. The Union Health Ministry amended Schedule K of the Drugs Rules 1945. How? By completely removing the term syrup. Following a draft notification, by December 2025, these cough syrups can only be sold through licensed pharmacies with a valid doctor's prescription. It's a direct, heavy-handed move to end the rampant over-the-counter or OTC culture for these specific drugs.
But that leads us straight into Section 3, the core governance deficit.
Right. As future administrators, you have to be critical interrogators. We have to ask, why are experts calling this seemingly credible policy a lopsided measure? Well, the government's focus here is entirely on restricting consumer access by mandating prescriptions. But the actual problem, that happened at the factory level. Requiring your prescription is never going to stop contaminated products from being manufactured and reaching the market in the first place. It's really just a Band-Aid on a systemic wound.
Let's map out the stakeholders here, a classic approach for structuring your mains answers. Pediatricians rightfully point out that many OTC syrups are basically dangerous cocktails of antihistamines that just mask underlying conditions like pneumonia.
Absolutely. But then look at the pharma lobby. They argue that mandating high-end testing requirements is just going to bankrupt smaller manufacturers. And frankly, that's an excuse the government often tolerates. Finally, we cannot forget our rural citizens. In many villages, pharmacists act as de facto primary care providers, simply because the OTC culture is so entrenched and qualified doctors are scarce.
Now, to be fair, the Indian Pharmacopoeia did update its analytical methods to actually detect these specific toxins. The rules and standards, they are firmly there on paper. But here is the classic Indian government's deficit we always talk about in class. We have around 36 state drug controllers, but they are chronically, severely understaffed. Without a massive increase in drug inspectors, updated standards mean absolutely nothing. This new prescription notification, it's likely just going to be ignored in rural areas because the enforcement capacity is practically near zero.
All right, let's wrap this up with Section 4, our GS2 takeaways and interview prep.
When you're writing your mains answers, you must rely on primary editorial analyses to build nuanced, balanced arguments. You can use this exact line of reasoning to discuss the friction between state capacity and regulatory intent. Always remember, a strict rule on paper means absolutely nothing without the administrative machinery on the ground to enforce it.
Finally, let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you're sitting before the UPSC board for your personality test. They look at you and ask, in a globalized economy, can India aspire to remain the world's pharmacy while having chronically understaffed drug controllers? It is a phenomenal question. It demands that you critically evaluate the delicate balance between promoting pharma industry growth and enforcing strict, non-negotiable regulatory standards. Ponder over this, structure your thoughts, and keep up the hard work. Thank you for joining us for this explainer.